going on, guys? How's it going today? Well, it's time for another episode of Let's Talk. And as I talked about last time, we're going to talk about supplements today. So you've all heard of them. You've heard they're great. You've heard they're crap. You've heard so many things and seen so many things on the shelves that it's making your head spin. So what I'm going to do today is hopefully put some of that anxiety to rest. First off, let me preface the rest of this video by stating that I do not believe that supplements are magic in a bottle, and I do not believe that they're absolutely necessary when you're on any kind of fitness regimen. But I do, however, believe that there are some supplements out there that can enhance your productivity in the gym and maybe give you a little bit more of an edge when trying to reach your goals. But by no means are any of them necessary. So first, let's look at the word supplement. The word supplement is defined as something that completes or enhances something else when added to it. So there are certain nutritional substances that, when deficient or even absent from your diet, can negatively impact your results. But the trick is finding out what they are. But if you're eating a well-rounded diet, which is a topic I'll cover in another episode, you're likely getting plenty of the main micronutrients, which are your vitamins and your minerals, as well as your macronutrients, which are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. But sometimes, there are times when you might need to fill some gaps. Now, fats and carbohydrates are easy to come by. Well, hold on, let me rephrase that. Healthy carbohydrates and fats are easy to come by. The one thing that people seem to have issues with is protein, mainly because it is, kind of heavy and filling. But it's been my experience that the average person that's exercising regularly needs about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight, which is 0.454 kilograms equals 1 pound of body weight, and that's per day. And that's not very hard to come by. You say if you're relatively smaller, like less than 170 pounds, or you have an overall weight goal of less than an aforementioned 170 pounds. Now, smaller women, they're not going to have as much problem getting their protein because they're typically much smaller. Now, if you're like me and you're over 200 pounds and you look to remain somewhere close to that weight, or maybe even heavier if your frame supports it, protein can be harder to get in these recommended amounts simply from your food. Like I said, because protein can be heavy and very filling. So a whey protein supplement with low fat and carbs can help you get that extra 10 to 15% of the missing protein you need to hit your goals. But you should, however, be getting at least 85% of your protein from food sources. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because I'll speak in more detail concerning nutrition in another episode, as well as a video just simply on macronutrients themselves. After the micro and macronutrients that I talked about, you're left with the rest of the things that are cluttering the shelves of the health stores around the world. So let's be honest here. Most of it's not worth the money they're asking you to spend, but here's a few guidelines that can help you weed out the unnecessary and focus on what can truly help you. So first, we're going to talk about pre-workouts. There's literally dozens, if not hundreds, of different types of these out there. But in all honesty, there are very few of them that contain what you need for a healthy pre-workout, and aren't just a bunch of filler that they're overcharging you for. So pre-workouts are so named because they're usually taken 15 to 30 minutes before exercising, and they contain ingredients that drive up energy levels and mental focus so you can go in and kill your workout. Now, to say that you need one to work out is false. No one does. I mean, not even me, but I do use one. But here are some benefits. First you need to find the right kind of pre-workout to get these benefits. First of all, avoid anything that says proprietary blend or energy matrix or something similar to that on the back label, unless it gives you a weight by gram or milligram of that particular ingredient in the blend. You'll notice these because usually the tub or canister for a 36 or 60-day serving for the proper pre-workout is typically much larger than some of the other pre-workouts with the same amount of servings. Also, they will have a scoop or a serving size that can average between 15 to 23 or more grams versus the others that may only have 5 to 7 gram servings. You also want your pre-workout to have 3 of these ingredients: creatine monohydrate, at least 5 grams, beta-alanine, anywhere from 1.5 to 2 or 3 grams, and caffeine as its main stimulant. Now, if you have a heart condition or any other health concern when it comes to caffeine or other stimulants, such as high doses of B vitamins, you may want to consult a doctor or physician before trying a pre-workout. The caffeine in these is not a high dose. It's usually about the equivalent of a couple cups of coffee, but some people do have issues when it comes to caffeine. Alright, and those are your 3 ingredients that you want to find in your pre-workouts. Now, the next supplement that I want to talk about is creatine monohydrate. You want a separate supply of creatine. Now, creatine is the most scientifically proven supplement that's ever hit the shelves. Its effectiveness cannot be denied, but just like with any substance, though, there are a very small percentage of the population that are what science calls creatine non-responders, that will have very little to no greater effect due to supplementing with creatine. But anyway, what does creatine do? Well, let's break this down as simple as I can. Creatine is a protein-like compound found in some meats. It's made in the body, within the liver, from the 3 amino acids arginine, glycine, and methionine. You may find pre-workouts that have these amino in them as well. Now, muscle cells do not make creatine, so it must be taken from the bloodstream. Now, once inside the muscle cells from the bloodstream, it forms a high energy, or cellular energy, a high energy compound called creatine phosphate. This is where creatine serves its purpose. It donates that separate phosphate to the rest of the cellular processes that create energy in order to create more energy, or ATP, which is cellular energy, for the muscles to use. So the creatine is allowing the muscle cells to generate more ATP than it can naturally from the breakdown of glucose, which leads to more available fuel to use for muscle contractions. So what does all that mean? It means that you can lift longer and heavier, as well as recover quicker and grow quicker than you could before. Now, remember, as I said, some people have little to no response to that, so the effects can vary widely amongst people that are using this supplement. But me personally, I've used it for a while and will continue to use it because I do see the benefits from it on myself. Now, if you want to see some of the science for yourself, there's plenty of information and publications online from studies that have been done on creatine over the past 20 years. Alright, now the last supplement I want to cover real quick are BCAAs, or your branched chain amino acids. Muscle tissue is made of proteins, and these proteins are made up from amino acids. Now, there's about 20 amino acids in the body, and of those 20, only about 11 are made by the body. The rest are what we call essential amino acids because it is essential that they must come from food sources. Now, of those remaining 9, 3 of the most important ones to have an abundance of are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. You'll find many brands of these BCAA powders and capsules on the shelves and online. But what you want to find is one that lists the ingredient ratio on the outside of the tub at least in a 2 to 1 to 1 ratio, and that's a minimum. You'll find some that are 4 to 1 to 1, sometimes 8 to 1 to 1, but there's no credible evidence that shows that 4 to 1 to 1 or 8 to 1 to 1 is any more advantageous than a 2 to 1 to 1 or maybe a 3 to 1 to 1. So taking these on a daily schedule will keep your protein synthesis running as efficiently as possible. Now, what is protein synthesis? Protein synthesis is the process by which proteins are absorbed into the body and used effectively to rebuild muscle tissue that's been damaged by strenuous resistance or weight training. So look at it like this. It's like a job site. You have these amino acids that are trying to build a muscle out of the available protein, which is like somebody trying to build a building out of available building supplies. So let's say we bring in more protein or building supplies to the job site to be used to building this muscle. Well, there's only so many amino acids or workers to go around, and if you run out of workers, all the available protein or building supplies on the job site cannot be used. Now, if you supplement with BCAAs, the 3 amino acids I mentioned before, you're going to have more workers on site that are able to utilize that unused protein or unused building supplies to build the muscle. So your muscle building job site has become more efficient and is building this muscle tissue back much faster than before. Does that all make sense? Anyway, guys, that's my breakdown on supplements. The pre-workout, protein, creatine, and BCAAs are the ones that I feel are worth your money. Now, there's a lot more details about each one that I would love to go into about that in a later time that could help your decisions on these be that much easier. But I am running short on time here. I don't want to make this video too long. Now, if you want to know more about any of these, or if you have questions, comments below and I'll answer, or maybe even do a whole nother video dedicated to that concern. Now, am I saying that all other supplements are garbage? No. But yes, the reason I don't touch on any of the others is because there's either little evidence of them being significantly effective, or there is little truly known about them, or simply put, some of them are just what science would call a sugar pill. Anyway, that's all I have on today. So join me next time where we'll keep discussing more of the ins and outs of what it means to and what it takes to be physically fit. See you later.